Kia ora everyone, Chris and Sam here. Quick weekly update of the biggest news in New Zealand real estate. So, Sam, how's your week gone?
Yeah, pretty good. And yours, Chris?
Yeah, it's been busy, right? And some pretty cool news coming out this week. So, Sam, do you want to kick us off on OCR reduction?
Yeah, so the Reserve Bank reduced the OCR by 25 basis points in the last week, so it's now at 3.5%. And yeah, seeing those short-term interest rates come down, but actually the longer-term ones have plateaued and have already priced in the future drops.
Yeah. And that's been quite interesting, right? Like the announcements in the media off the back of the OCR reduction were mainly talking about things like floating rates going down. But like you say, like a lot of those 3 and 5 year rates have basically just been plateaued for a while now.
And I think we might see more people lean towards longer-term rates now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does seem to be the way. So yeah, overall, lower interest rates positive generally for the market, although I guess the economic sentiment is a little bit more negative right now as well.
Yeah.
And that sort of flows into the other headwind in the market, which is the supply of homes for sale.
Yeah, so this is the latest data from realestate.co.nz. So the total stock of properties on the market in March was almost 37,000, which is a decade high level and 11% higher than the same time last year. There's also a rise in new listings coming to market, and kind of ultimately this just means that buyers have heaps of choice, so slowing down decisions quite a bit.
Yep.
But also kind of an indication that vendors are keen to put their properties on the market right now, so it's confidence there.
Yeah, and that's something that we've picked up through our sentiment surveys, right? Where off the back of the OCR reductions, there's actually been quite a bit of confidence on the selling side. So yeah, like you say, vendors coming to market and seeing that continue to come through those stats despite heaps of supply already being on market.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, real interesting. And then next up, we got weekly sales snapshot, right? So these are some sales that have gone through our network, kind of interesting. What's our theme this week, Sam?
We've got 2 lifestyle properties that have recently sold.
Yeah, cool.
And the first one is 45 Langdales Road in West Melton, Selwyn. Modern minimalism, lifestyle freedom, 3-bedroom, 2 bathrooms on 8,600 square metres, contemporary home, countryside space and serenity without the weight of rural upkeep. Just 15 minutes from Christchurch, and this one was marketed by Chris Jones and Sam Sadi from Bayleys, Christchurch. And this one was actually withdrawn and sold for 1.75 mil.
Yeah, it's a good one. And then, so for me, I'm in the Waikato, so I've got 256A Newell Road in Tamahere. Architectural mastery inspired by nature, 6 beds, 3 baths on 5,000 square metres. Landmark estate, highly sought after Tamahere community, showcasing elegance, restraint and multi-generational living. This one was marketed by Rachel Valdegrave from Bayleys Hamilton, Mark Frost from Bayleys Raglan. Sold under the hammer at auction for 3.55 mil, and I think that was one of our property of the weeks from a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, so really cool.
Yeah, real cool to see that one sell. Next up, just going offshore a little bit. So really the big news over the past week has been the absolute havoc of tariffs. What do you say? Like, I guess whatever we say now is probably going to be outdated by the time you see this video. We had the share market take a massive dump off the back of the tariffs being announced, and then a massive surge when they were paused for 90 days.
Yeah.
So we're now into a slightly awkward period where we don't really know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's been a bit of a mixed impact because I guess big picture you'd assume the economy would slow down if global trade slowed down, which is probably correct. But the real tricky item at the moment is the tariffs are sort of on and then off, and
a bit uncertain right now. Yeah.
Super uncertain. So yeah, it's very hard to pick at the moment, but one to watch over the next couple of weeks in particular, just to see how things shake out.
Sure.
Yeah, cool. And then finally to wrap up, Sam, we've got property of the week. So mate, do you want to kick us off in Auckland?
Yeah, so the property I've got is 267 Point Wells Road in Point Wells. Elegant rural retreat, plentiful accommodation, 5-bedroom, 2-bathroom home on 6,500 square metres, a brand new build home, plus a huge shed and Airbnb suite, so pretty cool. And if you're interested in this property, you can get in touch with Heather Walton from Bayleys, Omaha.
Yeah, cool. And then for me, I'm down in Queenstown, 28 Cunninghams Drive in Jacks Point. Brand new and bordering reserve, 5 beds, 3 baths on 645 square metres, premium craftsmanship and high-end finishes throughout, uninterrupted views of the breathtaking mountain ranges. If you want to learn more about this one, contact Jimmy Allen, Jessica Coburn or Phoebe Swale from Bayleys Frankton.
Cool.
Yeah, well that's it, we'll wrap it up here. So thanks very much, Sam.
Yeah, thanks Chris.
Sweet, and we'll see you next week. Ciao.